Oh shit. Welcome to the Out of the Box podcast. I'm your girl Shakita, speaks a Southern Belle. Listen, this is gonna be a dope episode. We got a special guest in the building. We got my guy Ahmad Davis in the building, and you can't forget about my co-host, my brother Jerome, the man with the plan. Listen, we about to get into this shit. This is how we doing it each and every Thursday. Make sure you guys tune in. Let's go.
And we out here. And in a day, we have an amazing special guest. So one of the main things is that we gotta let you know, Shakita, let's just talk about all the accomplishments that he has done. Come on, let's talk about it.
Listen, you as a busy man. You're a busy dude. I swear, you're really busy. So okay, so you were the co-founder of Kazi Magazines. You also work for Billboard.
For sure.
And you actually are managed artist too. One of my favorite artists, Young Crazy.
Yeah.
And you got your girl Shan too.
Yeah, that's my dog.
That's crazy.
And just say, if you don't know who he is, then that means you're not from Virginia.
Period.
'Cause this man's a legend right here. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
it's crazy. It's a little early for that, but yeah.
it's not early.
It
It's not
ain't early.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause like, let's not forget. You work with Timberland. You done things with Pusha T. You feel what I'm saying? Those are legends, and they respect who you are. Like, every time when I basically go out somewhere, they always talk about you. You know, I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? That guy's that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can get things done.
Period.
That's what I try to do, man. Try to get things done. That's the name of the game, ain't it?
Most definitely. So, one of the things is I want the audience to know who you are. So let's basically go to the top. So we know you from Virginia, right?
For sure.
So what part of Virginia you basically grew up in?
So I grew up in a city called Woodbridge, Virginia. It's in Northern Virginia. Man, it's probably about 30 minutes south of D.C. So everybody that's familiar with Potomac Mills, everybody come down there. That's the outlet mall. I done spent a lot of time in there.
Oh, snap. You
Okay.
from Woodbridge. Oh, that's where I'm from too.
There you go.
Okay, that's why I know I like you, man. Dang. You know what I'm saying? Like, God, I didn't even know that.
For sure, yeah.
All right, hold on. What school you go to?
I went to Hilton, but like,
All right, yeah,
I was
that's
supposed to go to Garfield. So I grew up, but I went to Hilton. Yeah.
See, the crazy thing about Garfield, though, Garfield was kind of the hood school. He went to a nicer school. You know, he's more educated than I.
Oh, my
Garfield
God.
had the daycare right in there. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
All right. So, growing up, in Woodbridge, Virginia, and everything like that, did you always aspire to do the things that you're doing now? Like, what did you think when you was younger that you was going to become or do?
You know what's crazy? I was always in the media and like entertainment, right? So when I was in middle school, I remember I first learned about subliminal messages. I remember they used to say it was like on Disney, they would have like little stuff like that was underneath, but you had to really notice it. And I was so into that. Like, I really just loved the idea of like telling a story without it being blatant. So then I just fell in love with the idea of telling a story. My mother's a poet, published poet, so telling the stories has just been what I did my whole life.
Ooh,
So it just made sense. That's the reason why I went to Bevel, is because I wanted to do the International Baccalaureate program. And then when I went to Hilton, it was because I wanted to do the television and production. So I kind of always had it. I tell people, like, even though I went to college for it, I feel like I started back in high school because I always been learning television production and stuff like that.
That's what's up, man. You make my life story suck. I went to Garfield and just, that's it.
All my homies that went there, like, a lot of my homies play football at Garfield. So like, I used to go to y'all games for real. I wasn't even really going to my games. I was going to Garfield games. But when I played basketball, like, obviously I had to go to those games. But I still was wishing I was over there though, for sure.
Yeah, no, you don't. You know what I'm saying? You good. So I'm glad that you mentioned that, the college part. So what college did you go to?
So I went to Old Dominion University.
Okay.
Norfolk, Virginia.
Okay.
And then I did my post-grad at Liberty. But I did that online though, so I can't really rep it too hard.
Oh, yeah, you definitely can. Online, what? I didn't know online.
Shoot, period. We ain't even finished.
Look, my community college plaque is on the wall. I don't even care.
Oh, man.
Well, I ain't finished neither.
Nah, for sure. It's all love for community college. I probably would have saved a lot of, well, my mama would have saved a lot of money if she would have did community college for the first couple of years. But I'm super happy that I was able to get that 4-year experience. I think the most that I learned in college was outside the classroom. I felt like I learned so much about relationships. You know, I'm basically like a professional like relationship builder. So I have to be able to talk to people, communicate with people from all walks of life. So I feel like without college, I wouldn't have been able to do that as well as I do now.
No, most definitely. So
That's dope.
when you was in college and everything like that, you know, to me, like in my field and everything like that, that's when my start. You know, that's how me and Shakita met through VCU.
Absolutely, yeah.
We went to school and everything like that, and
Spent a lot of time there too.
the VCU.
I bet you did.
Yeah, I spent like 10, 12 years in VCU.
Oh man,
Yeah, never graduated though. It sucks though. You know what I'm saying?
That's how it
never
be.
graduated, but
more rammed than a lot of them. Man.
so the craziest thing is that, you know, I want to ask you, like, in school, that's like a pivotal point when it comes to young entrepreneurs, because at the end of the day, you know, they basically are learning about themselves. They're learning about, you know, how to move outside. Because I tell people, to me, college is not really, I think college is needed, but
It's not a necessity.
the courses are not needed. It's
Right.
it's the interaction with the other people. That's where, you know, these connections, because you don't know who you're going to meet. You know what I'm saying? Because these people can put you into certain things. So I want to ask you, is this, like, when it comes to college, how did you basically start doing what you're doing? Like, you know, being a publicist or whatever. Like, what made you was like, you know what? Let me start basically reaching out to people and to network. Like, what made you kind of like, gave you that bug? Like, you know what? I love this.
That's a crazy story. So, you know the show A Different World?
Different way. Oh yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
You know
my
it,
show.
right?
Yeah, that's a show. Yeah.
I bet. So I fell in love with that show when I was in college. Like,
Okay.
obviously it came out way before then, but
Facts.
you know, I'm a Netflix baby, so like I was just there chilling, and I spent the time really watching the show. And there's a character on there named Dwayne Wayne, and like he worked at the campus radio station.
Yeah.
And he made that shit look so cool. So
Right.
like I was just like, man, do we even have a radio station? Because, you know, radio isn't as popular as it was
Facts.
Right.
in the time. So I was like, man, let me see if we even have a campus radio station. So my sophomore year, I realized that we did have one. So I applied to be the director of public relations.
Mm.
All I
wow.
knew is that I did one intro to public relations class. I didn't really know much about it or what it was or what it really entailed, but I knew that, like, if I could work for the radio station, I could turn it up. So my first interview, I think it was me and only 2 other people.
Okay.
When I left the position, they said they had 185 applicants.
Wow.
I know that. You was like, I didn't get it.
That's crazy.
So they said, like, just based on how much I was able to build it up, like we was selling merch, we was doing events and all that, and like it was just off the strength of like my first day there. They gave me this binder. In the binder, I lied to you not, it had the program director, the radio person, and the marketing person for every single major label. And I was like, hold on, y'all just giving me this? Like, I could just hit up any of these people with this new title that I have, and the resource of having the event spaces and access to 30,000 kids. Like, that was done deal. So I literally, my first day, I was setting up events, and my first major event, we did a meet and greet with the Alphas on campus with A Boogie, and this is right before his first
Oh wow.
album.
Oh, whoa.
That's big. That's major.
See, this is why we call you legend.
Period.
I remember they were filming the title documentary on them, so they had like hella cameras, and I remember it wasn't really no cool place for like VIP stuff to park or whatever. So I just remember telling them there was like this old church down next to the football stadium. I was like, all right, y'all park there, and I'm gonna walk over, and we gonna walk over to the campus and do the event. And I just remember we walked through the school, and it was me, A Boogie, and like Don Q was with him, and the rest of the High Bridge folk. And I just remember the cameras, and I just remember walking past all those people that you either seen in lunch or you seen in class or you seen at the gym or at the parties, and they was all like looking, and they was just like, oh, da, 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 da. And it was like, obviously they wasn't looking at me or worried about me, They was worried about Boogie.
Yeah.
But then I was like, yo, I just dapped bro. We was just outside talking. He was asking if we had Chick-fil-A. Like, I realized how normal he was.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, celebrities just like us, they got all the same issues. They just got a little bit more acclaim, and they really good at what they do. And they just found out what their purpose was a little bit earlier than most. So once I realized how important it was to treat all of these people like normal people, it's much easier to build with them. And to this day, like, I still got a solid relationship with his team. Actually, one of his managers has a 703 number. He's from Lake Ridge. It's so crazy.
Oh, that's crazy.
Super crazy. And, like, I just remember from that day, I was like, cool, this is my calling. Like, I just want to put stuff together. Like, I want to make moments. I want to help people tell their story. And from that, he was able to meet and greet so many people. And I feel like there's a lot of people to this day who are probably A Boogie fans just because they was able to meet him and interact with him.
Yeah.
And I just realized how important that was for artists to really, like, touch their fans and be there, you know?
Yeah, most definitely. I met Don Q one time. Don Q a real dude, you know what I'm saying? I fuck with Don Q, bro. That's my mans.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, like, as a college student, did that make you nervous and scared? Like, God, like the first time?
Yeah.
Be honest.
Nah,
You know?
I'm gonna keep it a stack. Not really. I don't know why. It was like, of course, he had a chain, which now he probably got 10 times crazier chains.
Okay.
But he still had like a big chain. That was my first time, like, face to face and interacting in a like professional environment with a quote unquote celebrity. And it was like, yo, bro asked me about Chick-fil-A. He talking about like the girls on campus. I'm like, oh, I know Shorty and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, you a normal dude. And I don't know why I just took it away. So everybody else that I've met from there, I haven't really had that moment outside of like this one time I was around Jay-Z where I was just like, everybody else, I'm just like, you normal, like we just kick it, like it's cool. So like, let's just work, you know what I'm saying? If we here to work, let's just work, and then we can build that relationship later. But I feel like people, if you put them on a pedestal at first, they're gonna treat you like you beneath them because you already placed yourself there.
Most
if
definitely.
You put yourself in a place to where y'all on equal footing, that's how they're gonna treat you and respect you.
Yeah, most definitely. I definitely agree. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, that's my philosophy. Like, you know, it's funny because I feel like our story is kind of somewhat similar. Because that's how, like, me and Shakita started. Like, all the stuff that I've done is due to, like, me and her work. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been working for years. How many years, Shakita?
Man, I feel like we probably like 10 years in at least, maybe 11.
Killing it.
Yeah.
Killing it.
You know what I'm saying? So we was basically doing it for that long period of time. And it was us, you know, there were certain things that, you know, I wouldn't say we were nervous, but there was a lot of factors that was in the way that made us a little bit kind of worried, you know?
Right.
So many situations that would come up, like everything just go wrong, you know what I'm saying? Car breakdown. You like losing the job. You like, God, Shakita,
Damn,
how
right,
we gonna-"
everything. It was crazy. Yeah. It was real crazy.
And that's the thing. It's like, no, one of the major things is also too is like you have multiple titles.
For sure.
Right.
And it's like publicist,
Manager,
entrepreneur, consultant,
writer.
I feel like titles are things that people want to put on you to make you familiar.
Okay.
You know? I believe there's an importance on it. I feel like it's more so for the confidence of whoever is holding that position. But I feel like a person like myself who's extremely confident in who I am and has always found just love from others or appreciation from others. Right. I never really felt the need to like just fully engulf myself in whatever I do for a career. I can do it my hardest, but at the end of the day, I've been through so much real stuff and I done experienced so much real stuff to where I understand that there's a life outside of anything that you do for work.
Right.
I just make sure anything I'm doing, I'm just putting creatives first, and the people that I'm around, I'm just trying to put them in the best position to win, whether it be from any aspect.
So look at this. Like, speaking of, like, you got all these titles, right? One of the things that I want to know is, like, how do you juggle all of that? Like, you got mad titles. Like, that's a lot of pressure. I be feeling like I'm mad busy, but with you having all these titles, I just want to know, like, how do you manage, like, your day to day?
Priorities is like the name of the game, and it's something that you have to learn. and it's not quick. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I think I had to tell myself in life, all right, who are you? Like when you look in the mirror, what are you? What do you see first? What do you tell yourself first? Every morning when I wake up, usually it's next to my amazing girlfriend, so that's what I am first.
Okay.
Ooh, look at that.
Look at that. All right.
Get the plug. Get the plug. You know
Ladies,
what I'm
if you was
saying?
wondering,
Get the plug, right?
ladies, if you was wondering, he just answered it.
So that, but also, I just everybody who I get my energy from, I'm not someone who gets excited from like quote unquote cloud or like just like I don't get a rush out of like accomplishments. I get a rush out of making the people that care about me the most proud, because that's what drives me to do stuff. I feel like I've been living a dream my whole life. And when I say that, it sounds like I'm bragging, but people forget that nightmares are dreams too. I've had a lot of terrible things happen.
Absolutely.
You got the quotables.
We say that all the time. Like we was just speaking on it. I was like, one of the dopest thing I feel like our artist has said was, are you familiar with Chaz French?
Yeah, he's super dope.
Yeah, so his album, that first EP that he dropped, Struggle That Made Us, I said, that's some real ass shit. Yeah. It's the struggle that make us at the end of the day. We go through so many trials, but those trials is what actually gets us through. You know what I mean? They push us to be better and to do better. So,
For
yeah.
sure. I agree. I think I've been blessed to see people and experience people in my life that have been through like really tough things and make it to places they never thought they was going to make it to. And all growing up, everybody in my family always kind of treated me like a golden child. So like now, any praise that I get, it's like I'm accustomed to it. And it's a blessing to still be able to be praised for the things that you do. But at the end of the day, I know that I have a bigger purpose. And like as long as I'm continuing to push the people around me, then I'm always going to be happy and I'm always going to be fulfilled.
Dope.
You know, because that's basically like how Kanye West is. You know what I'm saying? His mom was to instill, confidence into him. Because, like, the one thing that other people don't understand, like, as an artist, right? Not even just an artist, just anybody. Confidence can sell anything.
Period.
You can be the shittiest rapper. And you have confidence, you're like, they never nigga rap good. That's on fire, bro.
You go back to listen to the lyrics.
You like
ass.
Like it's like someone said something with a Future song, right? When he did la di da di da 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 da. I was like, that song hard, dog. I'm in the club and he played that. I was like, yo, that joint rock.
But you look back and you think about it, like that shit ain't really like what the fuck? Like my nigga, like what was you doing when you did that? Like I just don't get it. Like I don't even know what you was thinking about.
Yeah,
crazy.
It's a crazy situation, you know. But at the end of the day, like I want to know when it comes to you, like what was a situation that basically made you feel like, you know what, I don't want to do all this. It's too much, you know, because like being an entrepreneur is the most hardest thing.
It's tough.
It is.
I shed some tears. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I shed a little bit of tears. You know, that's how I did. Did you shed a little tears?
Ain't nothing wrong with that for sure.
Ooh, okay. I feel good. All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is men talk right here. That's what I'm talking
real
about.
talk though. Yeah, sometimes you gonna cry, man. Sometimes you, cause like what I do, I exude like emotion, right? And I have to draw that from others. So like, I have to be emotional. Like naturally, I was raised by a woman who's extremely emotional, extremely passionate. So like, of course, I'm gonna be like that. But with that, you are also compassionate. So you can take on things from others, and like sometimes just listening to people, you can take away their stress. And sometimes, especially as a manager of any creative, you gotta be there to build their confidence. Sometimes they lose it. I done seen some of my favorite artists ever get to points where they like, I'm done, or I ain't really rocking with it, and it's like, bro or ma'am or whoever says like, you can't stop, because if you stop, you speak into such a broad base, like they need you. And I feel like I don't feel like a lot of people need me, but the people that do are so important to me that like I gotta keep going.
Right. Listen, speaking on you being a manager, right? It's a lot of people that want to get into like the music industry. You know what I mean? A lot of people that want to be managers. So I've actually had people, Right. Don't do that. No, but listen, one thing that we want to do here at this podcast is we want to make this as a safe place where people can come and they can get knowledge, you know, at the end of the day about the industry. So for those people out there that are interested in becoming a manager in the entertainment industry, can you tell them what are some of like their duties and their job? Because a lot of people get it twisted. They don't really know exactly what a manager do. They just think they know, you know?
Yeah. I think, man, first, I don't even say first because it's a number of things. You got to be a motivational speaker. You got to be a therapist. You got to be a babysitter sometimes, but for the most part, you just gotta be there, and you gotta have whoever you working with best interest in mind. You almost have to care about somebody's art more than they care about it. And if you care about somebody's art more than you care about it, like that's lets you know that you should manage them.
Fact.
Like how they talk about with love, right? They say like, when you really in love, you know it's because you want more for somebody than they want for themselves. And I feel like if you're going to manage an artist, you got to love them or love what they do.
You were speaking facts. I want to just, like, if this is a church, I'll be the man with the tambourine, like, preach! Preach!
Yeah. But I want to get like a little bit also like a little bit more like technical about things too. Like what kind of like, what is like your day to day? Are you like booking appointments? Like, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Bookings? Like what are like the actual like task of a manager? You know?
Sure. I can definitely give you a good day to day. So like, let's say today, for example, I think today is a great example of what a normal day for a manager would be. We had a label meeting with an amazing label. You know, it was great. It was a great meeting, but that meeting was at 1:00. So say I woke up at 7, 8 o'clock, I'm online researching numbers, making sure we have everything prepped for it. 9 o'clock, you check on your other artists or whatever else you gotta figure out. You check all your DMs and your emails for inquiries for future things coming up, making sure not the calculator, but the calendar is straight. Man, then you call artists and say, hey,
is your ass up?
Yeah, remember we got this going on. Have you ate? Is your chain clean? Or you know, is like you got clean clothes to do this? Like, you know, because sometimes artists don't know. You have to kind of build the importance of stuff. So you need to let them know, like, hey, I know normally the calls, like, you don't need to have your face in it or whatever, but this is maybe more important. Like, you can say, like, on a call with just an A&R, you don't really got to be all that. But, hey, bro, the VP of the label's on this call. Maybe you know, be somewhere settled instead of in the car or whatever. Because perception is everything. I think if people know that you care about what's going on, they take you a lot more seriously. And I think, especially with rappers, they have a very low bar for what they expect out of you. So I feel like if you do anything above that, like, you are already ahead of a lot of people and you set yourself apart. So yeah, calling that artist prior, prepping them for the interview or whatever the talk is, do the call, and then after the call, calling them, kind of debriefing, you know, explaining next steps after that, and then right back to that same grind.
That's crazy.
And it's funny that you bring that. I want to know, like, you don't got to say no names or anything like that, you know. Do you have some uncoachables?
As far as the artists I manage, or just work with in
just
general?
In general, like.
Not now. I'm blessed to be in a position to where I don't have to accept any clients that I don't want to work with. Like, so if I'm not passionate about their music, I don't really need any money from you or anything. I don't have to do business with you. I could support you, but it'd just be from afar. But in the past, when I was getting started, though, I won't say the name, but this artist performed at my freshman year homecoming. So fresh out of college, I felt like it was so full circle to do their PR. And when they reached out, got it done. That was the first like big bag I got off the right? And man, for lack of better words, the artist was a dickhead. Like, it was tough because I'm like, bro, I rock with your music. You so talented, but you're so pompous, like you treating me like I'm beneath you, like you hire me, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't reach out to you, and it's like I be joking around, but I done had shouting matches like with one of my favorite rappers. Like it's crazy to me, but like it's all love. We still cool. Like if I see him around, it's all love. But I ain't inviting him to Thanksgiving or nothing.
I feel it though. Like yeah, like to me, you know, like I can definitely like relate a little bit. You know what I'm saying? As you may not know, I'm a manager as well. You know what I'm saying? But you know, yeah, that. Like sometimes it's like certain celebrities, not all, you know what I'm saying? Because like a lot of times, you know, again, like what he said previously, these rappers or entertainers are human, but there are some that are prima donnas. You know, they think that at the end of the day, like they run the world. You should basically walk on. I had one person who was like, "Do you know what my name is?" I was like, well, I'm guessing so. I mean, the email that you reached out to me to help you out has your name here, so I'm guessing I know your name. But, you know, to be a dick about it, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, you know how many hits I made? I'm like, yeah, don't care about them hits. I'm trying to do my job. you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm glad that you basically speaking about that because people don't know what a manager goes to. Because I think at the end of the day, this is the word I use. And people ask me, what is a manager? I say a glorified babysitter, counselor. Like how you said, we do so much that we do more stuff than anybody. I don't care what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because like at the end of the day, this person is have so much stuff on their plate. You're the person that has to relieve this situation. Like, let me help you with these things. Let me basically put this on. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to certain, you know, it could be interviews. It could be like, you know, certain events. You basically got to school them on certain situations of why, you know, this is important. Like he was saying previously. And I'm loving it because at the end of the day, people that want to jump in and be like, I want to do what you do. I think that you are the great because like the thing is that you have multiple things that you do. It's not just one thing. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you do more than manage is crazy. Like now getting to that too. Now you're a writer. You know, you write for like Billboard now. Let's say Billboard.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, ain't no big deal though. I wish I could do that.
Man, nah, writing for Billboard is a dream. Like, it's crazy. My first story on Billboard was with Currency and The Alchemist.
Wow.
So it was crazy because I got on the radar of the editor at Billboard based on a cover story I did with Currency. So I actually flew all the way to New Orleans. I spent the weekend with him and like seen a video shoot and like we had dinner and it was so surreal to me. So for us to kind of fast forward to now, have done a cover story with a magazine that I helped co-found. And then fast forward to do one of his first I think it was his first feature ever with Billboard. It was like crazy to me. You know, I'm a part of history for him.
All right, and you speaking on Kazi right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we did the cover story with Kazi, and then after that, we did one with Billboard.
Dope.
Yeah.
All right, listen, I want to get into Kazi, okay? So, yeah, let's speak on that a little bit. So I understand that you are the co-founder of Kazi. How did that whole magazine just come about? Like, what was the inspiration behind it? How you get started with that?
So Kazi is named after a gentleman named Kazi.
Okay.
He's like a ghost for real. Like he exists, but not in real life, like in person.
Right, that's dope.
You know, he's super incognito, and one day he just kind of reached out to me. He had like this real like bare interface on the site, and he was just kind of like, he would hate if I told people this, but like copy and pasting like articles from other sites and then just trying to like build up something on this joint. And he was like, yo, I rock with your writing. I feel like you should write for this site. And like, we really want to build it up. And I want you to be like the face. And he was kind of like selling dreams, but you know, I know the deal. So I was like, yeah, cool, let's do it. And he was just like, yo, I feel like you can be like one of the most popular like writers and interviewers if you just keep rocking. So like fast forward,
He was right,
man. Yeah, like I done interviewed G Herbo, Queen Naja.
Did you do Dirk too? You did little Dirk.
So I've interviewed with Dirk, the whole OTF.
Okay.
And it's crazy because one of the biggest stories, was the King Von story that we did. You know, right before his untimely passing, I had an interview scheduled with him the night before he passed away. So, obviously not right after, but sometime after, with his team at Audible Trees, his PR team, we just spoke about some ideas of how we could like memorialize him and like, really pay our respects. And I told him I thought it would be dope if we still did the cover.
Absolutely.
And then we just found a really good picture of him and like put wings on it and like really make it a thing. And then just interview the whole OTF about it because they had a joint album coming out.
That joint went crazy on the Instagram.
R.I.P.
That joint went crazy, bro.
It went crazy. Definitely. Rest in peace, King Von. Like a real one. And his whole team is just full of real ones. And when I met up with Dirk at the concert, he had a concert in DC, and like his cameraman's one of my homies, Joe Moore, but it wasn't even Joe.
Me with Joe.
Joe Good Peoples, but it wasn't even Joe that set it up. It was like with his PR team, and like I was carrying around this big old, you know, the frame, or whatever, and then his tour manager came out, gave me the pass, and we walked upstairs, and then you go in this locker room. Of course, like 150 people there. And then he take you to the back, and his manager, Ola, shout out O, super solid dude. He was like, "Hey, Dirk, come here, bro." So come over. And he was like, "This is it." I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Boy, this is hard." And he was just looking. You could tell. You know how people like joke about him looking stunned all the time, but like he really looked stunned. And like he was just looking at it. He was like, "This is cold." Like he was like, "It's cold." And you could tell it's like right before he was about to go on. So like he had a lot going on. He was just looking at it, and then he was like, "I can have this." I was like, "Yeah, come on." And then he held it. We took the picture with it, and like I just remember leaving out the room. My baby girl was with me, and she was like, "That's kind of cool, huh?" And I was just like, "Yeah." And like I was trying to be cool about it, but I was like, "Yeah, that's." Like Dirk was the hardest,
dope.
You know, the hottest artist in the game right now. If not, you know, him and Baby, right? Interchangeable. So
absolutely,
for him to put that stamp on it with the outlet that, you know, we done put some blood, sweat, and tears in, I ain't made no money off of at that time. And like, cause we were building towards something. So when that post went up, crazy, like out of here. Cause the original Von one went crazy, but when I took that picture with Dirk, it was out of here. Like I was getting DMs from a lot of my favorite artists, a lot of my favorite, like, just people in the industry and to do stuff. And, like, from there, I was like, all right, cool. Everything after this is just, it can't be no misstep. Like, you can't really lack after you do something that big. So
that's crazy.
You know, fast forward now, I'm on Billboard, writing for them and doing some stories with them. And it's crazy. Like, I don't know. We did Coyle Ray right before her album dropped. I just did Sunny Digital, DJ Drama, and Don Cannon. Like, just craziness. Like, every day, like, I just look at my email, I do something, and it's like, my girlfriend's joke is, let me know when it's Beyonce. Like,
period. She's seeing the success, so she know it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
right.
She just on some stuff where it's like, I can't tell you I'm proud of you every minute, because it just seems like every day is something new.
Right.
And like, it's just dope. It's a blessing every day. Like every time I do something, for you to be able to tell stories about, you know, artists that you revere and you really love to do it, it just means the world for sure.
Most definitely. You know, we saw on the Sunny Digital. Shout out to Maestro. You know, that's my man. Right?
That's what's up.
Yeah. You know, we came up in the trenches together. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
Yeah, I think Maestro was my first interview ever, right?
Yeah. Interview
he was like my first interview ever. Yeah. Dope. We still cool to this day. That's my homie.
One of the most solid people I ever met in my life.
Most definitely. So, now the next question I want to ask you, right? And this is my guy too. You know, he's formally known as what people call him in the industry is Coach Q. All right.
Speak on it.
And to his friends, Quinnell. Did I say it right? Quinnell, right?
Yeah, that's his name for sure.
So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, that guy, he really a legend for real. You know what I'm saying?
That's a legend. I could stamp that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, the things that he would tell you, be like, what? I am stupid. How do you know this? So, yeah, I want to know how did y'all basically linked up? Like, how did y'all basically start working?
Man, Q is like my real brother. Like, that's like I don't even think blood could make us closer. Like, he's such a solid individual. So when I was in college, this is a crazy story. When I was in college, I used to drive this pickup truck It was my grandfather's before he passed away. It was like a 2000 GMC Sonoma or something like that, right?
Wow.
So I only say that to say I drove that truck from Norfolk, Virginia to like Silver Spring, Maryland one day. There and back.
Sheesh, were you scared? You scared?
I was, I wasn't normally, I was pushing that joint, but not that far. Like 6 hours in a day there and back was kind of crazy. But I drove up there to meet with him for 15 minutes. I left, and he was like, he called me the next day. Hey, bro, what's up, man? I know we didn't really get to talk yesterday, because anytime you go out with Q, if you ever see him, it's like a line of people. Like, it's like a deli, like taking a number, trying to chat with him or whatever, because he never out. Yeah. So, man, he called me. He's like, yo, what's up? Let's grab lunch or something. You know, he didn't really talk to you. And I was like, oh, yeah, I had to work. I was like, I'm back in Norfolk. He was like, ain't no way you drove up here and then went right back to Norfolk. I was like, yeah. I was just trying to connect with you. He was like, oh, man. I was like, I owe you, man. Let's definitely get on the phone tomorrow and, like, really chop it up. Man, we talked on the phone for, like, 2 hours and a half. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, you got it. He was like, it's a lot of things that, you know, you want to teach people. He was like, you just got most of it. And he was like, we got a line vision. He was like, we going to work. He was like, once you finish school, just let me know. Man, I finished school. I came up there, and he really just taught me the ropes. And he introduced me to this guy. I don't even want to put his name out, but he's my dog. Like, he's an amazing guy. Yeah. But I only don't want to put his name out because I'm sure he wouldn't want people to know this.
Nah, facts, I know.
But we gonna call him Bob.
Yeah, Bob. So Q connected me with Bob. Bob was he's still well respected in the industry. Bob gave me a job helping him like ghostwrite stuff. I was probably doing like 15 to 20 articles a day. And he was giving me $100 every 2 weeks. And sometimes he was late for real. But you gotta think, $100 every 2 weeks.
Yeah, that was like nothing.
That was like haircut money. Like that was it for real. I couldn't even leave a tip, like just a haircut. And like he told me though, he was like, bro, if you do this, the relationships you're gonna get from this, you set. And I done made so much money with all the people that I met doing that with him that it made sense. But that's not for the week though. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't live off that. Like a lot of the stuff that I was doing, it took me probably like 3 years of really like working in music to like make money from music.
That's a fact.
And that's another thing. I feel like a lot of people don't know that. They don't realize that. Like, when you first get into this game, it's so much shit that me and Jerome did for free. Like, coming up, like, just on free, just because we knew that it was going to get us into bigger and better places. Like, you know what I mean? And sometimes people don't be, like, ready for that type of lifestyle, you know? They don't realize how much, like, effort you got to really put into it.
It's a struggle, I think.
Sacrifices.
Sometimes I don't think people realize you almost like paying.
Right.
It's like not a paid internship. It's like a paying internship.
Yeah, like, it is.
Man, I done slept on Stro Couch before going down to Atlanta and just wanting to build our relationships. Man, you ever like trying to build relationships? You buy a round of drinks for the people at the club, and then it's like, damn, I had $172 in my account. Now I got 42 and I don't get paid until
dead ass.
Trust me, I know.
Dead ass.
Bro, I done ate so many 4 for 4s, ramen, all that, just pushing because you going out to all these events and you trying to make a name for yourself, or you just doing stuff to leave a mark on people. Right. Easiest, obviously, it's just, hey, yo, you want a shot? I done bought so many DJs a shot or sent up on, now probably upgraded a little bit to buying a bottle for them or something like that, depending on the spot. And like, it's all just relationship building. You doing that and you can't even expect nothing back right then and there. It's just like building your social currency for real, to be like, all right, there's gonna be a time I'm gonna need you. I'm not even gonna have to bring it up. You're gonna remember, be like, oh yeah, come on, no question, it's done.
Facts.
And it's great. I want to ask you this question, right? Since you brought that up. What's more important, connections or money?
It depends on what you're trying to do. But for the most part, if you got the right connections, you don't really need money.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
The money gonna come.
Yeah, or you can get money from the connections. If you let them know what you really trying to do, they're gonna take care of you.
Yeah.
I tell somebody, if I got a $10,000 play on the floor, but I need $1,000 to get it ready,
That's a fact.
Somebody gonna get you straight. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna put the 1,000 in your pocket so you can get that rest, and y'all break down the 9. That's just how it's gonna go.
No, that's true.
Facts.
Though. You know, I definitely do believe that. You know, when it comes to the connections and everything like that, that's gonna put you in the door. You know, put you in certain places. You feel what I'm saying? Because like, without connections, I wouldn't basically, you know, got anything that I've gotten, or to be able to like do anything that people may see me, like go to different countries. I basically travel around the world just because of connections. You know what I'm saying? And I basically made good money doing it. You know what I'm saying? Just like yourself. You know? So, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, you were doing like a fantastic job, bro. Like, you know, that's the crazy thing. And like, and other African Americans, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're proving to them that this is basically can happen. Because you look at it like this, right? You know, from where you at, Woodbridge, we don't really got no one like you. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that many people. You know what I mean?
Not that I know of, at least.
Yeah, like not that I know of, right? Well, African Americans I know, you know?
Sure, yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you doing it, you know? Most of the people in Virginia that we see really doing it is like Virginia Beach. I can't even think of any other part of Virginia for real. But I know Virginia Beach, you know, they got Pharrell, Timberland, they got all the other people.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, down here in Northern Virginia, we don't really have that for real. We don't really have no one we can like, we don't have no really big artists, or we can be like, yo, you know, this person came from here, or no, basically, no writer or big publicist came from here that I can think of. You know what I'm saying? But I think that you are bringing that too. Like, you are bringing it to Virginia. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything that you do, like Billboard is not no slouch shit.
At all.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like,
Crazy.
you breaking barriers. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I definitely appreciate that. I think, like, I don't ever underestimate myself, but I think sometimes until you have to kind of really test your power, you forget how much what you really capable of, you know? Like, somebody would be like, yo, bro, I'm trying to get this feature from X, Y, and Z artist. How much you think it'll be? And for me to be able to just send a text and get the answer right back, or make a call and get that answer, it kind of throw you off. You like, hold on. I was just talking to the VP of Rock Nation real quick.
Right.
Like, I just called him, like, while I was eating. I didn't have to text him or set up a meeting. I was just, you know, stuff like that. Just simple stuff. And you remember, like, hold on, there's nobody really around me that can do that. And, like, it's on me to make sure that I'm not taking that access for granted.
Right. Look, this is one of my things I always wondered, just from people just from coming from Virginia. So we look at New York, we look at Chicago, we look at Atlanta. Like, they got some playmakers out there, period.
Sure.
Now, when it comes to Virginia, it's like, to me, I feel like Virginia is up and coming. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Virginia has so much to offer. Like, we got so much talent when it comes to Virginia. Like, how do you feel about the music scene in Virginia and the direction that we're going? Do you feel like we can eventually be like one of those like playmaking cities like Chicago, New York?
I don't even think it's a if. It's just a win for real. I think
Mm-hmm.
I don't even like that narrative of like, oh, we just got a team together. I think because there are artists who have made it out. There's extremely talented artists that a lot of people don't even know. Like, you got somebody like Stay Solid Rocky, who is like multiple times platinum, has a record with Lil Uzi Vert. He's from like Richmond area. You got, well, I don't want to blow up nobody's spot, but there's a lot of artists who are like signed to major labels who probably haven't been announced yet, but they're moving as if they're indie. And like, because of my position, I know that they signed to places, and it's crazy. Like, when they do finally announce it, it's going to be awesome. And I think also just being able to be stamped by like, either whether it be me or inadvertently, like a company I work for, be stamped by like legends, like a Timberland, like a Pharrell, like a Pusha T, and like even the younger legends. It's like, you gotta realize like we have a lot to offer.
Indeed.
And I think, you know, something like what Pharrell's doing with Something in the Water is to show like, hey, we have this access now, and this is what we can do. We can bring people to where we at. Right.
Indeed. Listen, I don't mean to cut you off, but like, speaking of Something in the Water, right? It was one of the craziest things to come to Virginia. Like, how do you personally feel like it being in DC now versus Virginia?
I think the reason why he moved is honorable.
Yeah, facts.
Okay.
It is tough though, but I feel like for him, there wasn't really any other place in Virginia
Really?
where he could have did it.
You don't think Richmond?
Where?
I see. Like they always have like a little ton of stuff like in Richmond. You know what I mean? Like
I've
they have
seen-
like their little festivals and stuff
I've seen
that
the
they do.
raceways, like they
Uh-huh.
run, but you gotta think some of the water was like on the ocean front, like
Right.
going all the way down. Like festivals be having like
Mhm.
30 to 50,000 people a day,
Okay.
per day. Like there's a lot to account for as far as like
Mhm.
room and board, and then there's also a lot to account for as far as just like the city has to be on board.
Okay.
And for him, I feel like
Okay.
he only had a personal tie to that Virginia Beach area.
That's
He doesn't
dope.
really have a personal tie to Richmond.
To Richmond, all
So
these other
it's like,
places. Yeah.
obviously, you just do it the closest place that has the resources that you would need. And I think that's why DC made sense.
That's good. That's good. Because I always wondered that. Because I know a lot of people was upset when they first went to DC and they didn't understand it. So yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've seen artists to where like they could save 100 cats from a burning building, and people would be like, "Oh, but you missed the dog."
Shit.
And it's like, I mean, what do you want me to do? Like, you know what I'm saying? I can
Facts.
only do but so much, and I feel
Right.
like some people are just, unless things go their way, they're not really happy with it. Or if it's not as convenient to them, they're not really happy with it. But you kind of have to just go with the majority, you know, or what can help the most people. And I feel like he had two decisions: never do it again, or move it to the closest, you know, area that had the possible resources to make it happen.
Word. Okay.
I definitely do. I mean, I definitely understand that. You know, I think it was unfortunate what happened in Virginia Beach when it came to his nephew, correct?
Yep.
Yeah,
it's
and
crazy.
unfortunate.
Is he
right
the
there.
nephew or cousin? I don't want to
Yeah,
speak
well, no.
on, but it's
Yeah.
definitely rest in peace, Donovan Lynch, and
Yeah.
it's still tough that they still haven't found a way to, you know, remedy that situation as best as possible.
Crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, I mean, for all people, you know what I'm saying, we're African Americans in general, they should have definitely handled that. But I'm like, out of all people, Pharrell, you know, Pharrell, don't get me wrong, we have Missy, Timbaland, all that, but Pharrell is someone that they should definitely do whatever they want, you know, whatever for, you know what I'm saying? Because Pharrell, he put us on the map.
He
You know what I'm saying?
gave
Like,
back so much.
I'm not gonna knock Timbaland or whatever, but Pharrell got Jay-Z be like, when I left you for Virginia, I didn't want to offend you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Period.
even though he would come down here, but Pharrell, you know what I'm saying? Because at one point, you know what I'm saying, even Jay-Z has said it himself, so I'm not bringing no secrets. One time, Jay-Z career wasn't really doing, like, he was kind of falling down, but Pharrell
Right.
gave him his beat, I'm a hustler, baby. No. You know that song, right? And Jay-Z was
Period.
like, this joint slap.
Right.
And when that joint came, that joint went up on the billboards crazy.
That for sure.
You feel what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people just like sleep on like Virginia. Virginia, we have like a lot of talent. But you know, but
crazy.
Pharrell is like, to me, you know, that's like someone I definitely do look up to. I never met the man, you know what I'm saying? Because like, I felt like everything that I do, you know what I'm saying, is because of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people look up Kanye West, look up all these like Jay-Z or whatever, but Pharrell to me is like, cause like, you can tell from his aura, you know, he's a good person and he wants to do the right thing. And the fact that you still stay here, like when it comes to like Pusha T and everything like that, y'all still friends. And I'm going to still help you. I'm going to still work on your album. I think that's
Right.
fire. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to be that kind of person and never
Right.
forget on my people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, the craziest thing is like these people respect you. You basically probably work with, they probably work with Pharrell as well, right?
I haven't worked with Pharrell yet. As far as with
I like
Pusha.
that yet.
Yeah. But you
Yeah, I
did
be trying to
Timbaland
do
though.
that. I have worked with Timbaland on a couple of things, and it's crazy. I used to intern at his studio like a long time ago. When I was
Wow.
in Norfolk. I think he wasn't there as often, but his one of his right hand man, Larry Live, was managing the studio at the time, and I learned a lot from him. And Pusha Peoples, we worked with when he started Airwave with Q. I was doing a lot of that work with them. So
Oh, okay.
like, yeah, to have people of that ilk like be aware of you, or it's like ridiculous to me. Like when I ran into Timberland, his first instinct was, "Oh yeah, man, FaceTime crazy," and like I'm sitting there rolling loud like FaceTiming crazy with Timberland. Like that's not real to me. You know,
Right.
like, I thank God my man's that was a cameraman was with me. Like, if he didn't capture that, I probably would have never believed that really happened. You know what I'm saying? It was like,
Facts.
yo, I was FaceTiming an artist that I work with, and somebody of Timberland stature was like, oh yeah, Crazy my dog, and they talking like they like, bro, like that's like his nephew or something, man. Like, just crazy to me. Like, it's a blessing. Everything is a blessing. I'm just here. Like, I just let God work through me for real.
Facts, you know. I want to ask, like, what's something new you might be working on? What you basically got, like, planned up right so far that you want to basically talk about? For
sure. On the PR side, I'm working with some very talented, dope artists. It's an artist named Junie, he has a heavy, like, Brent Faiyaz co-sign. He just performed at Broccoli City. I'm doing press for him.
Okay.
He's about to drop an album soon. He got a listening party in L.A. on the 20th. And then on the 23rd, he got one in New York. And then he going to have one in D.C. coming sometime soon. Okay. So when we was at Broccoli, that's why I was at Broccoli. Yeah. Work with him on that. I got tons of interviews coming for Billboard in these next couple months that I'm super duper excited about.
Wow.
And obviously, first and foremost, always the artist that I manage.
Definitely.
Super excited about. Crazy. We got a dope project coming out with him, and we're gonna have like a lot more support than we have had in the past. So dope. I foresee this doing really well. And then Shan, she like, when I say like, she's like a baby when it comes to music. She's just now getting started, but she has so much dope work coming, and like, I'm so excited about her growth. So man, working with Shan, working with Crazy, and another dope artist out of Detroit named All Star JR. He's gonna have a really cool situation coming. And he's gonna drop something. So, and working with him on the PR end and kind of consulting in. So I'm just excited about that. And
most definitely,
I'm excited to continue to grow as a person and strengthen a lot of the relationships that I have with my loved ones, and just being more present. I realize that doing what I do, I have to be so accessible. And I'm just kind of learning my personal boundaries and doing better with that, so I can give the people that I care about the support and the attention that they need. Because everybody else gets me, right? And they get like that 100% version of me. And I don't want to give them a drain version of me. I want to give them 100% of me too.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's real talk.
That's definitely dope, man. You know what I'm saying? But I think what we want to do is basically probably just close out right here. You got any more things you want to basically ask Keita?
Honestly, no. I feel like that's a good closing right there. I feel he said everything that needed to be said. Like, I really appreciate you for being here.
Oh, definitely.
Happy to have you. Listen, but let's do this. Let everybody know where they can find you at, find your work, find your artists at. Let's put it all out there right now.
Yeah, for sure. So on all social media platforms, it's Ahmad Davis PR, public relations at the end. If you just do a quick Google of just Ahmad Davis, everything else should come up. You can find my journalistic portfolio. You can see some of the work I've done strictly with Billboard. And then in my bio on all my social media platforms, you'll find a link tree with access to all the music that my artists are dropping and anything they have coming up. So I'm not hard to find, not hard to get in touch with. So if you hit me up and I don't respond, it's because it's just not to waste either of our times.
Period.
All right, Shakita.
Hey, let's go ahead and close this out real quick. Let's do it.
All right, most definitely. All right, let's get it. Hey.
Okay. Make sure you guys tune in each and every Thursday. We dropping a fresh audio on Spotify, Amazon Podcast, Apple Podcasts. Make sure you guys get at us. Make sure y'all follow us on our social media. Everything is going to be linked in the bio and linked in our description box as well. So thank you guys for tuning in. And you know where we at with it. I go by the name Shakita Speaks of Southern Belle. Shout out to my brother Jerome in the house. And thank you so much, Ahmad Davis, for coming through.
Thank you.
Let's go.